First, the Code of Conduct. The requirement of a code of conduct for leaders, including ministers and members of Parliament, is contained in Section 149 of the Constitution. The Code of Conduct Bill 2016 was first introduced in Parliament in April 2016 and read for the first time on that date. It was later read for a second time in late April of that year, 2016. Mr. Speaker, sir, this bill was referred to the Standing Committee of Justice, Law and Human Rights. And while still under review in that Standing Committee, Parliament was dissolved, in which case the bill lapsed. Mr. Speaker, sir, the government has a constitutional obligation to give effect to Section 149. Codes of conduct already exist in the public service and in many private companies. As far back as 1996, Mr. Speaker, the Reeves Commission, whose work led to the adoption of the 1997 Constitution, had recommended that the Constitution should have an integrity code, which is similar to a code of conduct. This was to ensure, Mr. Speaker, that national leaders did not use their offices for personal gain. A code of conduct forms an important part of the integrity system of government. It will encourage ethical conduct, reduce risks to the integrity of government and the Parliament as the paramount political institution, and enable it to perform its functions more effectively. This will help to enhance transparency and public accountability of our leaders, strengthening the public's trust in government. Mr. Speaker, sir, I therefore intend to seek Cabinet's approval to commence work on the drafting of legislation to implement a code of conduct with a view to its early introduction in this Parliament. Freedom of information. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Information Act was passed as far back as 2018. Regrettably, however, it has not commenced. The delay in implementing the Information Act is unfortunate. It is my intention to go to Cabinet as soon as possible and seek its support to give effect to this law. Public access to governmental held information is important. It allows individuals to better understand the role of government and the decisions that are being made on their behalf. When our citizens are informed, Mr. Speaker, government can be held accountable for its actions and policies. Once the Act is in force, it will allow access to information to improve the lives of the people, making available to them information relating to education, healthcare, and other public services. The right to know, Mr. Speaker, is central for upholding other basic human rights, for promoting transparency, justice, and development. It underpins and strengthens our democracy. Mr. Speaker, sir, I intend to seek the endorsement of Cabinet to proceed with the implementation of this law as soon as practicable. Mr. Speaker, sir, the position of Commissioner of FICAC has recently been advertised, and it is my hope that the position can be filled as quickly as possible. There is much unfinished business before FICAC. Individuals responsible for stealing from the public purse in the recent past must be held accountable for past wrongdoing and crime. The public interest demands this. If the anecdotal evidence is to be believed, Mr. Speaker, there has been serious dipping into public funds in the past, some of it in possible breach of the law. And those responsible must face the full brunt of the law. FICAC has cases going back as far as 2014. I was told by their staff that it was hard to get confirmed dates of hearing in court. There were part-heard matters before the courts, and many FICAC cases were stuck in the long criminal lists awaiting their turn. There may be a need to restore a dedicated corruption court, and I intend to liaise closely with stakeholders in order to consider this justification for it, if any. Mr. Speaker, sir, corruption and poor governance are security challenges which undermine democracy, the rule of law, and economic development. FICAC must carry out their duties fearlessly, however difficult or inconvenient, and go where the facts and the evidence takes them. This will go some way to restoring trust in government. But FICAC, Mr. Speaker, must never again be used as a weapon to remove or punish the government's political opponents. That would be an abuse of power and unacceptable. Fiji is not a police or totalitarian state. Mr. Speaker, sir, there can be no returning to the dark days of tyranny where agents of the state were routinely sent to the homes of people who disagreed with the government.